This isn't a video to convince you to start dressing boring or to throw out all your crop tops. No matter how old you are probably very different than you were when you were 18, when you were 21, when you were 25. And this advice applies to any and all ages and will grow with you, like your closet should. You can definitely wear the same things that you loved from the past and just change the way that you wear them a little bit so that it feels more like you now. I'm talking crop tops, low-rise jeans, mini skirts. We're just gonna wear them a little differently. I will say at the end of the day, you really should just dress however you feel the most comfortable. I am not here to police you and tell you that you are too old to wear anything. I really do not believe that. That said, my definition of what makes me feel the most confident has changed as I've gotten older. And right now I've found that it's kind of all about balance. Instead of wearing a crop top with tight ass-hugging jeans, current self would swap out those bottoms for something that is more loose and playful. So we have tight on the top and loose on the bottom. And that's a formula that I like to play with. Now you might be like, you are a liar. You're telling us not to wear crop tops and tight bottoms because we need to be more modest because we're old now. That's like not the case at all. Trust me, I wear crop tops with low-rise pants all the time. My belly button is out. But what I think is most interesting is actually adding tension. Tension is one of my favorite words when I'm getting dressed. In both of these outfits, the tops are inherently sexy, considering that so much of my torso is showing, while the shorts are objectively ugly. And in this case, I layered in some more feminine pieces, but also kept things a little bit weird with my accessories. My younger self probably would have just worn this with like short shorts. The TLDR to all of this is that if I'm showing a lot of flesh, I actually love to just add something a little bit ugly, but it's become this secret sauce for me that is like a security blanket kind of, and that is the perfect segue to talk about intention. Intention is colored socks, the decision for these socks to be no-show to your calf. Maybe it's a pair of glasses. I love a pair of glasses, a weird pair of glasses, a different pair of weird glasses. The thing about intention is it is a visible decision to add to like the fringes of your outfit. I guess you could call it accessorizing, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. So why does intention add to your outfit? First, it adds layers, which really adds texture and depth to your outfit. I fall back on glasses all the time, and it automatically makes an outfit a little more interesting and sometimes a little strange, which I love, because the best thing about a strange accessory is that it communicates that you are making a choice and you're an active participant in your outfit. Ironically, that gives us more flexibility to take risks because people can't really distinguish if what you're doing is on purpose or if it's an accident and a mistake. I'm definitely not saying that you need to be able to see your underwear in order to say that you are being intentional, but I think this is a great example of committing to the bit. It is so clear that the skirt that she chose is supposed to be see-through, that we are supposed to see her underwear. If the skirt wasn't as see-through, then maybe you're thinking, oh my gosh, does this girl know that I can see her underwear through her skirt? If showing people your cheeks or wearing fake glasses are a little too far out there for you, it could be having a go-to stack of rings, wearing a belt. And speaking of belts, that leads us to quality and fit. Arguably the biggest step that you can take into your adult wardrobe is understanding the difference between a natural and a synthetic fiber. When we're talking about fibers, we're talking about what your clothes are actually made out of and really understanding how to build a closet that is full of quality, which ultimately translates to you looking better, which is what I want. I want that for you and I want that for me. Natural fibers come from plants or animals, and some examples of that are linen, cotton, silk, wool, cashmere. They're more breathable, they generally feel better on your skin, and they definitely age nicer. Sometimes they need to be broken in a little bit. Now, synthetic fibers are man-made and they come from petroleum. Examples of this are polyester, nylon, acrylic, spandex. They are generally cheaper than natural fibers, and when they're used in the context of keeping costs down, that typically translates into just being less durable. Those garments typically lose their shape. Maybe you're like, Sid, this sounds expensive, and it's because it can be, but it doesn't have to be. Let's look at an example. So this Zara sweater is $50, but one, is it actually gonna keep you warm? Are you gonna wanna wear it? or is it just cute to look at? Alternatively, I actually bought this Lulu Studio sweater off the RealReal. I got it for $75 and the fabric composition is 66% wool, 29% cashmere, 5% lycra. Was the second option like $25 more? Yes. Will it actually keep me warm? Also, yes. Become best friends with the composition and care tag. At the end of the day, this is you not getting ripped off. That's what it is. And that is very mature and adult and chic and sexy. And just like the composition and care tag is your new best friend, so is your tailor. I wish that I had befores on all of these, but these are all clothes that I had to get taken in so that they actually fit me properly. I would much rather have one dress that fits me perfectly than 5 dresses that I never really wear or feel good in because they don't fit me. Now, this one takes a little bit of experimentation, and I do think it's kind of an ongoing journey, but how you wear your clothes is just as important as what you're actually wearing. So earlier in the video, I talked about balance, and balance is a huge part of me feeling confident in an outfit. So here's 3 really good examples. The first, you can see that there's a lot of visual coverage, but there's also a lot of leg, and her top is like very tight. The second example, you can see that it's very loose and flirty because of the commitment to the silhouette. And then in the final option, I just absolutely love this, where the bottoms are clearly oversized, but the top isn't necessarily tight, but there is like an amount of skin that's being shown that mimics what a tight shirt would do in that situation. But here's how you're going to figure out what helps you feel good. Homework. Every time that you put on an outfit that makes you walk a little bit taller, maybe you want to take a selfie of yourself, take a picture of it. And you're going to make an album in your phone and you're going to put all the pictures where you feel really good and feel really hot into this album. And after 5 pictures, maybe even every 5 pictures, then you are going to attempt to understand it. For me, it's little pointed toe kitten heels. Like, I feel so chic in a pointed toe kitten heel. It is astounding. Does it make sense? No. But do I now own a bunch of pointed toe kitten heels? Yes. The big thing though is to keep experimenting and have an open mind. There might be things that you swore you never would wear that is now your favorite. For me, that was swearing I would never wear all black and that I hated kitten heels. And look at where we are now. Your closet, your style, it is an endless journey, and it's a journey that I hope you can learn to have fun on if you're not already. These are just a few of the tips that have made a huge difference in me and my style journey. And even then, I still look back at pictures of myself from like a year ago and kind of cringe, but that's part of it. That's how you know that you're moving in a good direction, is that you are experimenting and you are trying new outfits and new combinations and new things. And if you like this video, I know that you'll love this one.